What's good with the collective, man? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop or upload. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos a week, man. This is for entertainment and educational purposes also. And if you haven't already, smash that bell. Make sure your post notifications are on. I want to go ahead and say I appreciate the collective. Y'all know I love y'all, man. I love doing these videos. But when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, it helps the collective get bigger, helps us grow, helps with the algorithm, man. Helps people who like this type of content come tap in with this type of content and learn with us. But I ain't gonna hold you. We gonna get right into the video, bro. Let's go.
Black robes. Most people never question, why do Catholic priests wear black robes? Kids that graduate from high school wear black robes. Judges wear black robes. Rabbis wear black robes because black robes represent the planet Saturn. They're a symbol for the planet Saturn. Saturn was called by the ancient people Lord of the Rings. And Saturn is Lord of the Rings. This is why women were told in the ancient world to listen to their God. And the concept was they would wear an ear ring. Men were to get married before their gods. They wear a wedding ring because the old ancient god of the Middle East, one of the ancient gods of the Middle East, was the planet Saturn. Saturn was directly connected to Yahweh, the Hebrew God. And so this is why even today the Jews celebrate the worship of Saturn. Saturn in the old Phoenician language was called Shabbath. Look up in the Phoenician language. You will find that the planet Saturn was called Shabbath, and his worship to honor him once a week was called Sabbath. So when the Jews are having Sabbath, they're actually paying homage to their god Saturn, Lord of the Rings. And so when you start breaking down where religions have come from, theologies have come from, the six-pointed star, for instance, is called the Star of David. Actually, it's not the Star of David. All the encyclopedias and reference works will tell you that it's called the Star of Saturn. It is a hexagram. Hexagrams represented the planet Saturn. So, and then when you look at the Christian system of things, the church is a disgrace, in my opinion, period. The Christian church is a disgrace. Everything that comes out of the Christian church in America is a disgrace. It's filled with lies, deception, innuendos. It is a money-making corporation.
They put the coordinates in backwards.
Dang.
They reversed them. Listen, y'all, listen. The Miami incident, right? Or at the mall. I was watching one of the victims, and he said that it seemed like a portal opened up, and all of a sudden these beings just came through. So it got me thinking, well, where did they come from? Well, they had to come through a portal. So just for shiggles, I went to Google Earth, went to the mall, got the coordinates, flip-flopped the coordinates, put that in Google Earth, and just to see where it would take me, it took me to the center of Antarctica. Do y'all remember what I was talking about? How there's an alien civilization in Antarctica living under the ice? Do y'all remember that? Because if not, let me remind you, there's supposedly a alien race living in Antarctica. And if they were trying to go to this alien base in Antarctica, they swapped the coordinates and ended up at the fucking mall in Miami. I'm tripping. Go to Google, find the coordinates for the mall, reverse the coordinates, and it will take you to Antarctica. I shit you not.
How many of y'all trying that? And she made a lot of sense. What if they was aiming to go there, but they flipped the coordinates? I don't know how they would do that, man. That's beyond my pay grade. I'm just saying what she said did make a lot of sense. It did make a lot of sense. And y'all can't sit up here and tell me that didn't make a lot of sense. In the first clip, man, dude was kind of, some people gonna take it as disrespectful. Some people gonna take it as truthful. Like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But everybody entitled to saying things however they feel like they want to say it. That's how I'm going to play that one. He was going in. I think if he makes a statement like that, he needs to come up with reasons why. He just shouldn't come up with just saying that. He need to go in. If you gonna say that, you gotta go in, bro. You can't hold back. You gotta go in with everything you got to, yeah. But then again, there's still gonna be somebody out there who's gonna have something to say, something to disagree with. So, man, make your statement, I guess, and call it a day. That's what he did, because he didn't go in detail on why he feel like that. I know why he feel like that, but yeah. But again, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Bro, all I'm saying is, everybody responding, but ain't nobody calling him a liar. And they can't call him a liar because he really has receipts. He got them all responding. But you know what interests me the most, though? Is I can't find no pictures of Katt Williams with Diddy. But you know who I can find? Tiffany Haddish. I mean, everybody he was speaking about. Cedric the Entertainer. I mean, we got Kevin Hart 100 times with him. We got Steve Harvey with the fro. And I know y'all probably wondering like, well, they just pictures, but it's the same with the Epstein Island list. You mean to tell me these folks was on this island, but they ain't know what he was doing? It's the same way you mean to tell me these folks friends with this man be at his house and don't know what he be doing? And they must be real good friends to let somebody your age date your daughter. We got Faison out to eat with him. We got Ludacris. They must really used to be tight. Right around the time DC got Hollywood Squares. I like them colors too, they remind me of something. Oprah gonna come on her next. We even got Oprah with Diddy. How that happen? Seem like they pretty close if you ask me. Why is Kanye looking like that? Still looking for the lie. I can't find Katt Williams in one though, but everybody else for some weird reason.
I think the funniest part was when he had to throw Tyler Perry in there. If you ain't seen the interview, that was the funniest one. It was the funny. It was more to the interview, but that was one of the funniest highlights of the interview to me. I'm sorry, he got, if I'm not mistaken, he was talking about Ricky Smiley and he was talking about Tyler Perry. But it was the way he said what he said. But again, everybody responding. But ain't nobody calling him a liar though. So many rappers too, they be with Diddy. That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic.
Y'all, come here. I have a serious question for you. And for some people, this may seem like it's satire, but I'm like literally serious about this question. How in the world in 1927 did Universal Pictures know that this is what the world looked like from outer space? We hadn't even been to space yet. It would be another 41 years until we went to space. But somehow, in the 1920s, Universal Pictures knew that this is what the world looked like from space. Yes, I know there was maps. I understand there was maps for centuries and centuries before this. But what I'm talking about is, how did they know this is what the world looked like from space? How did they know this in the 1920s? So allegedly, in 1968, this is the first picture of Earth from space. So again, how did they know that that's what Earth looked like in the 1920s when this picture didn't even get taken until 1968? 41 years later. I'm probably just tripping like always, right? Yeah, I probably am. But that's just a question that has bothered me. And I don't know. What do y'all think? Is this trippy or no? Let me know below.
Ha ha, we got you. Well, okay, hold on, Tiki Talk. We got you for entertainment purposes only, of course. All things stated and all videos, things shared here are just speculation. New boo, just goofing around. Not even the men in black can make this go away at this point. Oh, I just love social media, yes! Because mainstream media, bye girl, bye. And whoever came up with that BS cockamamie ridiculous story that hundreds and hundreds of Miami police officers were dispatched to the Miami Mall because of a fight between kids with sticks, you're fired. Not today, Satan, not today. Multiple witnesses claim to have seen 8 to 10 feet tall creatures in the mall that struck panic. People were pew-pewing to protect and save their own lives, and everyone was running. It was mayhem. But we got you. Well, we got it. On film. Thanks to a couple of very amazing, incredible followers of mine, Eagle Eye followers, they spotted it. And when I tell you guys, yeah, Be prepared, because you are about to see something that in your lifetime, if you've been lucky enough, you have never seen before. A Nephilim, a demonic fallen angel spirit, 8 to 10 feet tall, roaming the streets of our world. Roll the tape. Oh, that's me. I gotta roll it. Hold on. We'll wait. Oh, really, we'll wait while you try to come up with some ridiculous story. How much time do you need? I can't wait to hear what they say about this, because that, my friends, is definitely not a kid with a stick. That is a whole A demonic creature, a Nephilim. Let's take a look at it again, this time in slow motion.
Real quick, look how she just sitting in the. Look how she's sitting in the corner. She's really trying to pump fear right now. I can't.
Oh, the men in black are sweating it now. I just shared a video of a testimony of an eyewitness at the mall. A man who explained his girlfriend and he were there when it happened. He made a whole video explaining the situation, the incident, and described these 8 to 10 foot tall creatures. But apparently now, according to followers, he is backpedaling, saying it was just him trolling. He never saw it, which makes this entire video that much more awkward for him. But you gotta give him credit, I understand. Somebody had to have gotten to him. They will do anything and everything to hide the truth and to cover this up. Unfortunately, now that we have actual video proof of this 8 to 10 foot tall creature outside of the mall, if in fact that young man was an eyewitness, his story, my friends, was not wrong. Somebody just got to him and he is scared. $100 this becomes a Mandela effect. But you now have seen it, my friends, with your own eyes. Absolute proof, video proof of exactly who or what really was the reason behind the panic and the mayhem that night at the Miami Mall. 8 to 10 foot tall, demonic Nephilim spirits.
First of all, language controls perception and perception controls reality. Watch what you say to the masses, because sometimes different people can perceive different things based off the words you select to give them. She just said 8 to 10 feet creatures and then switch it again and come back with demonic Nephilims. Which one is it? Which one is it? Because most of the clips that I've seen so far, they never attack nobody. So if they was here to do some harm, they would have did that. If they was here to take something with them or eat, they would have did that. They're not here to hurt us, clearly. They didn't hurt nobody. All them cops came because they probably didn't know that I don't think they knew that they was coming. I don't think nobody knew they was coming. In my opinion, I heard they was angels, but then again, they could have been fallen angels. But they didn't attack. They didn't give indication that it was fallen angels. One dude said it looked like they were just glitching in and out, like fading in and out. That's what I seen. But again, she want people to vibrate off fear. No, stop. And some people gonna be like, they were fallen angels. They were Nephilims. Okay, did they hurt anybody? Did they hurt anybody? Because some people said they seen them up close and people was pointing at them. And some people was running away also. Why didn't it hurt nobody then? Were they here to hurt? Or were they here maybe to warn us like we have seen also? Going off evidence, right? So the evidence has presented to us that they didn't hurt nobody, and the evidence also presented that people have said that they was there glitching in and out and looked like they was here to warn humanity. So yeah. Who's to say that was just a stage to see how we would react to it? Maybe it was the government putting them there, creating them for us to see how we react. Maybe it was that too. But I don't like her take. I don't like her take. She's flying off the handle way before she got any type of evidence. Trying to be funny. Chill out.
Most people are not even aware that there is a consciousness shift happening on the planet right now. There's so many distractions. There's all this stuff happening, crazy stuff happening all over the world. And what happens is when people are in fear and anger, they're much easier to control. They're much less likely to ask deeper questions. They're in survival mode. They're literally worried about their safety and their health. And because of that, what do most people do then? They look to authority. They look to authority to feel safe. They look to authority to tell them what's happening. And when people are in that level of consciousness, they are way less powerful. Now, there's a new earth that is coming. Can you feel it? Eckhart Tolle talked about this, wrote a whole book about it called A New Earth, which has to do with a level of consciousness that is emerging on the planet. And literally, if we do not evolve our level of consciousness, our planet will destroy itself. Let's cross-check this over to what Dolores Cannon talked about in 17 or 19 of her books. And it wasn't even her talking about it. Dolores Cannon was a hypnotherapist for like 40 years. And her books are transcripts from people in a deep level of hypnosis. And tens of thousands of people all over the world have been in this specific healing hypnosis state where their higher self comes through. It's like voice recorded. Many people don't even remember when they come out what they're saying or what they said. They're in like this state of consciousness where their higher self and their subconscious mind comes through to relay all this information. And there's many books written that are just transcribed sessions with people. And interestingly enough, thousands of people from all over the world who have done this kind of hypnosis and their higher self and subconscious mind came through, you want to know what it said? Many times in different ways. We came here to be a part of this shift. The shift in consciousness. We came here to be and to help the planet move into what is called New Earth. A new way of being, a new level of consciousness. And we came here to help that transition happen so that people didn't get left behind. Because in Dolores Cannon's material, what it talks about is this 3D to 5D Earth split. Now, this sounds very esoteric, sounds kind of woo-woo. And there are things we need to realize about this that I want to share because people might get kind of lost in the details of this. But a 3D to 5D Earth split. Let's first off talk about the different elements of 3D to 5D. It's very important to understand this because then you can see where your vibration is laying, because whatever your vibration is in, that is the reality you are experiencing. And what it says in the Dolores Cannon material is that there's these two levels of consciousnesses that will be on the planet for a period of time. But then eventually what will happen is these levels of consciousness will begin to shift. And with it, there will be an energy split that happens, an energetic energy split. I want to make that clear. This is something that also Bashar has talked about, who's been around for almost 40 years, channeling very similar material and energy. And what he talks about is how you want to be on the train track you want to be on, because as the years continue to progress, because things are evolving in consciousness, the track that you are on with the train track, it's like you're leaving a station. And what happens is eventually they're going to be splitting all these different tracks. And what happens is for a period of time, which is what we're in right now, you have the ability to look at the other train tracks to see what's happening. You can see. It's almost like there's a glass wall that you can look and observe. But what he says is similar to what Dolores Cannon says, is that as time goes on, it's going to be harder and harder to jump from train track to train track or to even see what's going on. It's literally as if your frequency shifts and then you just cannot perceive of the old vibration anymore, of the old earth anymore, if you're on the new earth. And vice versa, if you're trapped in the energies of what is called 3D, which is kind of being asleep in the illusion of duality, of separation, If you think of 3D and 5D Earth, think of it like 3D is that of separation, duality, good, bad, light, dark, fear, anger, being stuck in a form of victimization, being stuck in they're doing this to us, or they're doing this to me, stuck in the old patterns, angry, it's the government's fault, buying into the media. These are all very common things, the social conditioning of the third dimension level of consciousness. Now, what it talks about in that of Dolores Cannon, Eckhart Tolle even, Bashar, and even also the Law of One, which are considered some of the most profound channelings, talks about this same split, this same type of energy. And it's called the harvest. The harvest is where it's happening right now. There's a harvesting of energy within every one of our bodies of consciousness that we have the potential to sprout. And there will be this option to literally upgrade to a higher level of consciousness in our life. Now, 5D is more about understanding connection to each other, unity. What we put out is what you put out is what you get back. That we're all in this together. When you think of 5D, it's also like having the courage to do the shadow work, to take ownership and responsibility for what's happening, not just blaming everything else happening out there. What can I change within myself? Following your passion, your purpose, understanding money in a very different way. Living more at unity and at one with the earth. Now, some of these things I'm sharing with you right now, it may seem like a long shot. You're telling me we're gonna do this all right now? But the thing is if we don't, we continue to crumble with the old level of consciousness. Now, what it says in Dolores Cannon's material is that back in the 1920s, 1930s, there was an energetic call that was put out through the universe that literally said the earth was like, I'm going to be destroyed. I know this sounds very esoteric, but this is also talked about in the Law of One, and it is also talked about in Dolores Cannon and her material, and even Bashar, and even Eckhart Tolle would probably agree with this too. The earth is a sentient being, and we are cells on it. Macrocosm, microcosm. I know this sounds esoteric for some people, but the earth has chakra points on it. In the Law of One, it's called the logos. There's these different connection to different planetary systems and spheres, and it's all microcosm, macrocosm. So what happens is on planet Earth, there was a call that was put out back in the 1920s, 1930s when we were experimenting with nuclear bombs. And what happened is it was very clear that the timeline we were on is we were going to destroy ourselves if nothing happened. But then what happened is there was this call that Mother Earth put out, Mother Gaia, whatever name. I know it sounds really weird and esoteric to even say that for some people. But that call that was put out, there were people, beings all over the universe that felt this connection to Earth, that knew it was going to be very hard, that knew they were going to have to forget who they are to remember who they are. And that they came here to go through that process because they wanted to be here during the shift. They call it the shift. This was, once again, through thousands of people that have been in QHHT from Dolores Cannon's technique. So this isn't just like one person said this. Many people, just like you and me, that are in deep level hypnosis would say these things. Came here to be a part of the shift, came here to be a part of the new earth. And one of the rules of our reality is we must forget who we are to remember who we are. And then we go through a process of redefining who we are and how we choose to show up in the world. Now, the values of the 3D, it's very much about unconsciousness. And that's why what we must do now on the planet is become...
He's on point.
This video published anonymously on the dark web shows a man visiting an island that was supposed to have been abandoned years ago. But something was very strange. He then offered her meat, but it seemed to be human meat.
just eat it.
I know, but what kind of meat is it? Why don't you tell me what kind it is?
I can't tell you.
Why?
Eat the meat or go get your own meat. See, it's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You ain't never had meat like that, boy.
You hunted this, right?
Everything floats up. Stuffed chickens that just fall in my lap.
I floated up on this island, off a raft there. They're all over this place.
Yo, someone call you dinner.
Someone call me dinner?
Ah, yeah.
Why?
You know why?
I'm dinner? What does that mean?
Nothing. How's it taste?
It kind of tastes like pig, not like a boar, like a wild boar.
Interesting. That's a funny take.
They have lots of, like, boar on this island, or what? How big is this island, do you know?
There ain't no damn boars out here. Ain't no deers, ain't no boars. There ain't nothing out here.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like, how did you get the meat? Oh, you must have went to the store, then. There's a store around here?
I feel like he trolling that dude, or that's fake.
Reports began surfacing of 8 to 10 foot creatures which were entering the mall, which really caused the mass panic from shoppers to the point many who were armed began to fire upon the large creatures. This caused the power to be cut from the mall and surrounding homes, and black helicopters sent into the air to scan the area, shutting down the Miami airport until the search was finished. Some have described these creatures as zombies to reptilians, to even Nephilim in nature as they entered the marketplace. What are these creatures? Are they a sign of the last days of Noah, or is it a government experiment gone AWOL, or cryptids journeying from a secluded area nearby? You tell me.
How have I not heard about this? My dad's a police officer in Miami, and I mean, like, he's even running for sheriff, and I just talked to him. He didn't say anything about that. Hey, did you, have you been seeing the alien stuff? Did you see that at Bayside? Are you serious? You're joking. You're joking. Did they tell you not to talk about it?
How many times you want me to slice the pie? I'm not allowed to know about it.
Well,
I do know what you're talking about, but I'm not allowed to know about it.
I'm really not trying to, like, I don't really like when people put aliens and demons together. I got my reasons. I shouldn't have to explain. Like, I just don't think they're the same. I think that the elites create certain things to mimic aliens, to freak the public out. I think some aliens, such as reptilians, exist. But I believe there's aliens out there who ain't there to hurt. Like I always say, they're here for, there's something that's bad and there's something that's good, as we know. But if they was really here to hurt us, man, they would have been and did it. We don't have nothing to defend them. So if you know you can come wipe something out, why you just don't come wipe it out then? If they so bad and they come in here to wipe us out, why they ain't did it? But again, I'm gonna let all the evidence come out. I'll make my opinion based off more evidence to come out. Right now, I don't think they're Nephilim. I don't think they're fallen angels. I don't think they're nothing like that, because they ain't hurt nobody. But I did hear one thing though. I did hear that some of them could have been reptilian. I did hear that. But then again, why they gotta come out like that? They got all these other little loopholes that can get people. We already know they here, but I don't know. Who knows at this point? But do I think they Nephilims or demons or anything? I don't think so. I don't know what they are. I could be wrong too at the same time. But my opinion ain't that. That ain't my opinion.
I know the real Bernie Mac stories, and I know that the people that made money off Bernie Mac didn't like him. They hated his guts. And that was our king. But I turned it down. Why? Because you shit on Bernie. And I know the truth. You think I'm gonna let you shit on Bernie and then come get me? And now that he gone, you gonna act like he wanted to be a movie star. You stop it. You stop it. That man was funnier than all of y'all, and y'all thought y'all had one over on him.
Hey, man, that hurt you, man. It really did, man, because, you know, it was from nowhere, man. It's just, and he, you know, they put him in a, you know, compromising position that he really didn't want to be in. And so, you know.
So right when Bernie had proven his point, and right when Bernie showed everybody who he actually was, and curtain scene.
Bernie Mac was the king of comedy. and his career seemed unstoppable. But his sudden passing at 50 years old has led to lots of speculation. A month before his sudden passing, on July 12, 2008, Bernie Mac appeared at a private fundraiser for then-presidential candidate Obama in Chicago. The crowd was filled with donors who had paid $2,300 per ticket. But Bernie refused to tone down his comedy style to appease the crowd. He launched into the usual straight-talking comedic style he was famous for, and nothing was off limits. He joked that having a black first lady is different. You're still going to have to do the dishes and the laundry and all that. And then went on to refer to women as hoes. Offended audience members began heckling him, telling him to get off the stage. He said that although he was born a Democrat, "I'm a Republican at tax time," which the audience of Democratic donors did not find amusing. When Obama finally came onto the stage, he also admonished Bernie for his act, stating, "We can't afford to be divided by religion, or by region or class, or by gender," and added, "That means, by the way, Bernie, you got to clean up your act. This is a family affair." After the fundraiser ended, the Obama campaign officially issued a statement clarifying that Obama did not condone Mac's statements, referring to them as inappropriate. Even in front of a presidential candidate and a crowd full of donors, Bernie refused to tone down his act to fit in. Right up until the end, he was fearless.
I ain't scared of you, mother.
Fame and success had not corrupted Bernie, and at the time, Bernie seemed unstoppable, with his career going from success to success. But a month later, Bernie Mac would be dead. At just 50 years old, the comedy legend suddenly passed away. His sudden death shocked the comedy world and has led to all sorts of theories over what actually happened to him.
You know, and then when they sit there and they play psychological blackmail with you.
In this video, we will discuss Bernie Mac's life and his final days, and reveal the truth.
Okay, I got another video of my new findings of the Miami Mall incident. This video is slowed down 0.25. So I want you to understand how slow I have this video, because I want you to see how fast this shadow is moving. Like, I slowed it down and it's still moving fast, bro. And if you pay attention, it changes locations and it changes shapes as well. I'm gonna talk you right through it. I want you to see right at the beginning is over here. You see how it is right there? And then look how it moves. Like, it scales over. And I want you also to think that I have this at 0.25 in time. And look how it's moving up here, right? I'm covering these guys up because you already know what time it is. I don't want to show this. But watch over my head. And you see how it moves? It moves. All right, so I want you to pay attention. Like, it moved away, right, as the camera pulls away, but it moved this way and that way before it moved away, right? So I'm thinking, where is it? Where is it, right? And then it's still back here, up here in the corner, waiting. But I want you to pay attention to what it's doing. I don't want to tell you what it's doing. I want you to see what it's doing. Look at this. Look, when he starts running over, I want you to see, look where it's at, look where it's at. Look at
It's hard to kind of see that one though, like wait.
Cool. Holy fucking shit, guys.
Yeah, we seen that. That gotta be Project Bluebeam.
So this story has kind of been going around, but I haven't heard anyone talk about it from this perspective. This is basically the entire police department in all of their vehicles. Everyone has been drawn to this one scene, right? So what was going on around the city at this, when everyone is here? That's supposed to be keeping us safe. What's going on elsewhere? Because according to the reports as of right now, this entire police presence was caused by a fight amongst adolescents with sticks. They also allegedly had fireworks inside the mall. But even then, this sort of police presence, they cut the police scanners to the public, so the public didn't even know what was going on. They also closed the airspace above the mall. People who watch radar said that there was only one police helicopter flying around the area, but all other flights were grounded. You're telling me this was because of a group of teenagers with sticks? This is just like the thing that happened in New York that they said was an earthquake. Did we hear about that? That's going to be my next video, so make sure you follow for more. Also, there supposedly were like 7 to 10 foot tall beings walking around the mall, but that's neither here nor there. If they were here to harm us, though, would they just be walking around the mall? Probably not.
We've got Nephilim.
Thank you. If they was here, do you think they would just be walking through the mall? What if their coordinates did get switched up? What if they realize, like, oh, we in the wrong spot? We in the wrong, I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching with that one, maybe I'm not. But if they was really here to harm us, but again, what is going on with the rest of the city? Well, all the police cars is there. And it looked, with all the police cars going there, it looked like they was more afraid of the creatures than maybe we was. Who knows? I don't know. I just think they, yeah.
We've got the Giant of Kandahar. We've got the Greys. And we've got tall whites. What's the difference? Reptilians, mantis. First of all, angels can shapeshift. We know that the dragon, the enemy Satan, can appear as an angel of light, not his true form. The Greek word, and this was taught to me by my good friend and brother who's no longer with us, Russ Dizdar. The Greek word is metaskis monosai. They have the ability to shapeshift and present themselves basically however they want to. Karen's handler, Karen Wilkinson, who we published her book, Stolen Seed, Evil Harvest. It's a must-read if you're into the alien abduction phenomenon, because it's real. It's not demonic delusion. These people are taken. There is a breeding program that's going on. We talked about this in our 4th film, but then we link it later on in film number 6 on counter mutilations, and we show how they're inexorably tied together. But once again, I digress. So you've got fallen angels can shapeshift. They can appear pretty much as they want to. They can appear as your grandmother, your dead grandmother, if they choose to. Greys, the Greys with the big heads and the almond eyes, there's no reproduction system that's there. They don't eat. So what are we looking at? In my opinion, these are avatars. They are essentially meat suits. They are biological constructs for the demons. What are demons? Demons are the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim. Let's back up. The seed of the dragon will be at war with the seed of the woman. So that's Genesis 3:15. That's the gateway to the rest of the biblical prophetic narrative. So the seed war erupts 3 chapters later. Fallen angels come down. We know that from the book of Enoch, 200 of them in the days of Jared on Mount Hermon. And by the way, Mount Hermon is Nephilim Central. That's where all the mischief, as Chuck Missler liked to call it, begins. That's the nexus. That's the starting point. So the Nephilim are the offspring of fallen angels and human women, creating a hybrid being known as the Nephilim. They were never supposed to be here. This is why the flood of Noah occurs. That's number 1. So the Greys, let me back up. The Nephilim perish in the flood. They become the disembodied spirits which roam the earth, i.e. demons. How do we know that? The book of Enoch. Those of you who have an issue with the book of Enoch, I'll just say this. Jude quotes the book of Enoch. It was obviously widely read in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd centuries. Jude's quoting from the book of Enoch. Is it part of our canon? Now it's not. But in the Ethiopian Bible, it precedes the book of Genesis. In my opinion, if you were going to keep one book from the people, you keep the book of Enoch. You're going to keep one book away from the people of the world. That's the book you keep out, because it tells you exactly what's going on. Fallen angels are coming down. They're grabbing the women. They're going into them multiple times. They're having children by them. These are hybrid beings known as the Nephilim. They are soulless. So you've got demons wandering the earth. They're earthbound. So what does the dragon do? A demon, the dragon knows that a demon, in order for a demon to manifest, has to inhabit a person, has to inhabit an animal or an object. Right. So what does the dragon do? He creates the Greys. It's a biological construct. It's an avatar. How do we know this? Because experiencers, people who have been on board the ships, including Whitley Strieber, talks about seeing the Greys stacked up like cordwood, stacked up like chairs, okay? One on top of each other. And there is no reproduction system, as I said earlier. There doesn't seem to be a digestive system. So they're biological suits. They're expendable. I remember sitting down with the late David Flynn and talking to him about this, and he also agreed on that. So moving along, now you've got the Giant of Kandahar, all right? And the Giant of Kandahar, we don't know how old that thing is. According to the shooter and the eyewitnesses, the smell was so overpowering, people began to gag. It made them nauseous. So are we looking at a being that's 1,000 years old, 2,000 years old, 3,000 years old? And what about Bigfoot? So Bigfoot, in my opinion, is a modern day Nephilim. It's a hybrid. I believe that they are all have a nefarious agenda, in spite of what some people tell us. That's right now, with the evidence I have, that's what I'm going with. There's a very nefarious agenda when it comes to Bigfoot and Sasquatch. They also have the ability to pop in and pop out. The Kandahar giant allegedly had the same ability to bilocate from one place to another. Again, this comes from years of research, talking to whistleblowers, talking to people that have come up to me, and everything is very privy information. In other words, I can't divulge the source. But some of these people were embedded in special forces, and I'll just leave it at that. So let's walk through it. Fallen angels are fallen angels. They've come down and they create through grabbing the women and having sex with the women. Okay, and for some of you out there, you got a real problem with that, but that's what happens. They create a hybrid being known as the Nephilim. The flood happens, the Nephilim are wiped out. The disembodied spirits of a Nephilim are the demons that roam over the earth. Disembodied spirits, in order to manifest, need something to dwell in. A human being, a group of animals like the swine, where Jesus cast out legion from the man of the tombs, and they go into the swine, or an object. The giant of Kandahar, in my opinion, may be thousands of years old. In other words, we know that there's a diaspora when Joshua and Caleb go into the promised land. Are we looking at the diaspora of giants? Afghanistan is not that far away from the Middle East. There is a cave system, allegedly, that is underneath this planet, and you can go from one part of the planet to another. That giant at Kandahar came out of a cave, and more about that later. So you've got the Nephilim, the disembodied spirits, which become the demons, the grays, where the demons can inhabit those biological constructs, those suits, and they can manifest in this dimension. The giant of Kandahar, which can bilocate, and Sasquatch, Bigfoot, which also can bilocate. They come in and they come out. They're interdimensional entities, in my opinion. Let's walk through Miami. In the 90s, Barry Chamish, who was an Israeli journalist, wrote a book, The Return of the Nephilim. I met Barry, and at that time, this was 1999, I had my first book in the Nephilim trilogy published, Nephilim, The Truth Is Here. And I went down to see Barry. He was speaking at a MUFON meeting, and we met and we talked, and I just said, "Hi, Barry," and I held up the book, and his jaw dropped, because he realized someone else was in the same genre that he was. And Barry and I would communicate through phone and internet later. He passed away a number of years ago now. Barry's book talks about the giants appearing in Israel. There were footprints, there were photographs. So that brings us to what might have happened in Miami. Don't know. There's several TikTok reports. There's allegedly from a couple of people who were there. They saw shadowy figures, very dark, very tall, and they would bilocate from one place to another. What are we looking at? Folks, I have no idea. I wasn't there. If you know somebody who maybe has cell phone images, no matter how blurry, of the event, please shoot them here. LA@LAMarzulli.net. LA@LAMarzulli.net. So I'm following this story because, 60 to 100 police cars converging on the mall because some teenagers are throwing firecrackers and battling each other with sticks. That may be exactly what happened. That may be the truth. I don't know. I really don't know. And a group of teenagers, you get 100 teenagers together wearing ski masks and rampaging through a mall, they can do millions of dollars worth.
L.A. Marzulli, whatever. Y'all heard him. I had to go back and get his name correct. I apologize. He dropped gems. I like what he's talking about. He just made me a fan. I'm going to have to dive a little bit deeper. But even he said he didn't know. He gave a rundown of each and every last one of them things, but then still was like, well, they was popping in and popping out. I heard it was glitching and glitching out, almost like as if a veil had been lifted. That's exactly what I heard. Almost as if a veil was lifted, and they were like, yo, our cloak was removed, and they was able to be seen. It was almost like, yeah, that's what I seen. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't think that Nephilim are fallen angels. He kind of put a little bit of different little thoughts in my mind, something to dive deeper in. But I still got my opinion. Somebody else gonna have theirs. But the truth will come out. I ain't worried about who's right. Cause I know the truth gonna come out either way. This whole part of me right now is experiencing life. I'm just experiencing what's going on this planet. That's all I'm doing. Whoever's right is right, whoever's wrong is wrong. I don't really care. I'm just happy that the truth came out. And I'm happy we getting to see stuff like this, honestly. Can't make that up. I love seeing this.
Devontae never left. He was always afraid of leaving his surroundings. So I always try to pressure him to, see a little bit more than San Francisco.
Why was he afraid to leave his surroundings?
Because of missing people. He's always had this feeling that something was going to happen to him. It's like his worst nightmare.
So that was something that he spoke about, his fear of going missing?
Yeah. And he didn't want to go anywhere. Whenever I would literally have to talk him into going anywhere out of town with me. I told him, just make sure, you go with someone you can trust. He was still afraid. He still was afraid to go anywhere. That really concerned me when I got a call from him, and he was in Tahoe, Lake Tahoe. This is the part that hurts me the most. I'm not going to say the most, but once they seen him walk past one way, they stopped watching the surveillance. Later on, I find out that they said, oh, well, we decided to watch the rest of the surveillance. And this was months later. He walked back the opposite way 15 minutes later. And then once he went back the other way, there's no more sighting of him. He just vanished. I've walked the walk so many times. He was just trying to find his way back to the hotel. This is what she told us. She said her and Devontae got into a fight. They separated. She went and watched the sunrise. They passed each other. They locked eyes. And that was the last time she saw him.
Does that story sound right to you?
No, nothing she says makes sense.
So if y'all don't know, somebody in the comments, part of the collective, they said that's their brother, and they wanted me to dive deeper as far as that story. If I'm not mistaken, that happened in Mount Shasta. He was from San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken, because I've been trying to find the right videos with the right information. So that's why I'm kind of slow with that one, and I'm not really quite sure about the whole story, but it does sound kind of weird. I seen the tape, I seen a video of the girlfriend talking. She sounded like she a little suspect. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not trying to say nobody guilty, but if it barked like a dog and got teeth like one and they walk on all fours, 9 times out of 10, that's a dog, man. And something don't feel right with that story. Something don't feel right with that story. Like I said, I'm still researching into that one. But yeah, I responded in the comments, letting know I dive deeper. But yeah, that was a touchy subject. That's real close to home too. That's real close to home. And then it happened, I think, at Mount Shasta. But yeah. We'll be going deeper down that one. But yeah, I got your message. I got your comment. Yeah. We'll definitely help out your family and go ahead and have some discussions on that one. Yeah, we'll have some discussions.
Alexa, how much money was put into a trust fund for the birth certificate when I was born?
How much?
The value of a birth certificate bond is usually at least $100 million. Alexa, what happens with a birth certificate bond over time? The birth certificate bond is a financial instrument that can be used to enslave a person's body, mind, and soul, turning them into collateral for government debt.
Yeah. Makes sense, don't it? That's what I've been telling y'all, ain't it?
Alexa, if I have a birth certificate, do I have a straw man? A straw man is created when a birth certificate is issued, according to a theory, and the straw man is then subject to statutory law.
Statutory law.
Alexa, what is statutory law? Statutory law is a written law enacted by a legislative body. It is the primary form of law in common law systems, distinguishing laws created by a governing body from case law.
It's time to wake up, y'all. Wake up.
You know how many people I got that ain't woke? That really... I got so many people on Instagram that I know if they just came to this channel, they'll wake up. They'll be like, bro, that makes so much sense. But because it's me and they know me personally, they don't want to watch what I'm saying right now. So they ain't really trying to rock with it. And I already know that's the case. I put a post up on Instagram not too long ago. I was like, hey, y'all, appreciate y'all if y'all subbed up. Every last one of y'all from the collective was there. Not every last one, because some of y'all don't have Instagram. But it was a lot of y'all from the collective that was responding back and was like, man, you know, we gotta show out. And then it was people who actually know me looking at it, like, reactions. He reacting to conspiracies. He reacting to stuff that's woke. We gotta be tapped in, bro. I don't wanna watch that. Bro, we used to be riding out here and he on that type of time now. I guess it's that shift we was talking about, huh? That track you gotta get on. Some of the people I grew up with, they on another track. And I can see the track. But over time, we ain't gonna be able to change tracks. I already know which one I'm choosing. But I just when he's saying y'all need to wake up, it just went through my head. Like, I got a whole bunch of people I know that may not ever wake up. That's cool. My family, they be waking. They've been, I say since 2024, they've been on their stuff lately. But people I grew up with, homies and stuff, nah. They may not never wake up. That's the sad part. Hurt, but can't control them. Gotta worry about me and what mine's got going on.
How did Epstein get started?
How did he get started?
You know, that's...
Where did he come from?
You'll never know, so you'll never be 100% sure of exactly what took place. The only thing I'm sure of is that he did not commit.
You understand that you're a very controversial man in this country.
I'm delighted. He comes from Coney Island, from a working-class family in Coney Island. He could have been chosen earlier to be part of this as a young man.
Who would have recruited him at a young age?
So he was a college dropout.
How many years were you in college?
I believe 2.
What'd you study?
Physics.
Well, isn't it true that you were a teacher at the Dalton School in New York after college?
William Barr, the Attorney General under Donald Trump, who covered up Epstein, his dad was running Dalton shortly before Epstein got hired there.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us in a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail.
Man steps out for his first walk in public after spending $20,000 to transform himself into a dog. If there was ever a time where I wished I was joking about a video, it would be this.
He's scared. He's scared because you're much bigger. Hello.
A Japanese man by the name of Toku recently spent a staggering $20,000 to transform himself into a border collie. So this man identified as a dog and decided he can't just identify as one, he needs to look like one. And y'all still think this type of stuff is normal? This is not normal. Next, he's going to want a female companion that's also a dog.
And when it gets to that point, it's now reached a stage of bestiality. Do y'all realize they try to reward mental illness nowadays? They're weaponizing stupidity and ignorance. I don't know if you guys have realized this. Don't step into that dark place. Seek Christ, find the light of God, because only that will save you spiritually. This is a spiritual war, and many people get caught up in it because they don't know how to overcome it. And the only way to overcome it is understanding what it is. It's a spiritual war, and we fight that war with the Word of God. The Word of God is Christ Jesus. So while many people are falling in that dark loop, come out with the Lord. The Lord is saying, come out. The Lord is saying, come home. God bless.
This man spent 20 bands.
You got a mosquito on your head.
Don't do that.
Don't
Don't
look.
do that.
Hold on. No, stay right there. Am I lying though? Am I lying, or did I just catch a mosquito on his head? Exactly. That's exactly. Yeah, I saved you right on camera.
But you smacked my head like I owe you money. I didn't like that shit. I don't mind you killing the mosquito, but I don't owe you no motherfucking money. Don't smack me like that again. For real.
It took any blood out of there?
Yeah, I remember yesterday all over again. I swear, I thought I was at Malachi's game just now. I'm telling you, I'm about to cuss the coach out now. Don't do that shit no more.
Saying the mosquito didn't suck any blood?
Man, fuck the blood. You smacked me into the other day. Don't do that. Fuck the blood. Damn, he did get some blood, though. I ain't gonna lie. That motherfucker got some good-ass blood, too. Shit, he must be got that protein blood, that brain. He got some brain. That motherfucker went in there and got some brain from people.
Hey, man, I know we had to go ahead and add some light up in the end of that. But, man, we made it to the end of this. If you haven't already, please smash that like button. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you always notified. Y'all know we coming with them 4 videos a week. It's for entertainment purposes. But I ain't gonna hold y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Until I see y'all in the next one, we gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my count.